First thing you want to do is just take off your bolt tip O-ring. You can use a pick, fingers, pinch it, whatever. In my case, I just help it with a microfiber, pinch it off. Okay, back cap, take your back cap off. And then along with that will come your spring. Push your bolt out the back. And this piece just simply comes apart. And then the shuttle finally. These pieces here do separate. I do not separate them, I just don't need to. Okay. Clean off any excess lube, because you don't want to put new lube on old lube, so we're just going to get rid of all that stuff. Okay, now while I'm doing this, I'm going to tell you about what I use. For my dynamic O-rings, those are the O-rings that have something moving over it. For example, the bolt moves over the bolt guide. That's a dynamic seal versus a static seal, which is a piece that just sits there and doesn't move. So for my dynamic O-rings, I use Slick Honey. In my climate, you need a nice, thin, yet perfect sealing lubricant when it gets cold. Slick Honey does that. It's a bite grease. And it's perfect. It's not that expensive either. You can find it, I'm pretty sure you can get it at your local pro shops now. But if not, ask for it. It's great. And for my static O-rings, I use either a Vaseline, a marmalade, something like that. I mean, you don't need any magical lube for this marker. Like if you live in the southern states, like for example, I was in Georgia and I used Vaseline completely in my marker and it was perfect. No issues whatsoever, but up here, I like the Slick Honey, I swear by it. Now that all that's cleaned off, this stuff spreads so nicely, you don't need that much. So you just do the whole bolt. Now, inside here, you want to put just a tiny bit and then just work it in. For your bolt guide, same thing. Okay, now that's it for those two pieces. You're done. No problem. Just move it to the side. Okay, now inside here, there are 3 017 O-rings, so you have to lube those as well. Again, these are all dynamic seals, so use your Slick Honey on these, or your other equivalent thin grease for where you live, or Vaseline if you live in the southern states, whatever. Inside here, there's an 019. That also requires some lube. Now, your shuttle, it's very important that you do not overlube this, because if you overlube it, it will start to gunk up on the inside here, and that may cause it to stick open. You don't want that, very important. So just use the existing lube you have in your fingers and spread it around. You can put a very, ultra thin coat on this. And that's all you need. Again, if you overlube it, it will go through here. It may even go through your solenoid. I've seen a few people that have put way too much lube in here. You take their solenoid off and there's a bunch of lube underneath there. You do not want that. Okay, that's that. So now that all of that has been done, we can reassemble your engine and we can work on your static O-rings. Now, there is a proper orientation for this. If you look at the shuttle, you will see that there's a lip. There's this more of a flat side. The lip side goes towards the front of the bolt. Do not forget about your bolt tip O-ring that you set aside. Oh my god. See, the Slick Honey is so good. Makes my fingers all... Okay, that's perfect. Alright, now for static O-rings, I like to use, like I was saying, a Vaseline, a marmalade, something like that. So I will use marmalade. You don't require a whole lot, but you definitely want to put it on these 021 O-rings, the 5 big ones on the outside. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Make sure you don't get any on your shuttle. That's it. This marker is completely maintained. If you maintain it just like that every single time you play, you don't necessarily need to. I do, and I find that I have awesome performance out of my marker. You will be shooting ropes with these bad boys. Questions, concerns, comments, you know what to do. Send me a message. Thank you.